What's up, Kosova? This is Coach Q. I'm your host for the upcoming podcast called Never the Right Time. We are on every Tuesdays, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. 103.5, 105.5 Urban FM. We're going to be talking all things around health, fitness, lifestyle. Please check us out. Here's a quick shout out to our sponsors, 5-Star Fitness and Onze Recovery. 5-Star Fitness. Goes without saying, we need to be active nowadays. It's a must. And to help with this, 5-Star Fitness, with locations across the country, has established itself as the place to pursue your fitness goals. Now, Onze Recovery, let's talk about stress from daily life, leaving us depleted, in need of that reboot. Onze Recovery offers different types of therapies to help you recover from the daily stresses, especially when we are limited with time. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is 103.5, 105.5 FM, Urban FM that is, and the show is Never the Right Time. Your host, Coach Q, or Qta, depends on how you know me. Anyways, today I'm with the one and only Dren Menda. He is, to give a little bit of context, he's one of the first people that I've met when I came to Prishtina 8 years ago. We know each other through a mutual friend, so shout out to Trimi.
Trimi, yeah.
Yeah, and so Dren, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell the people like who you are, although half the town, or more than half the town, even all the dogs pretty much know you. But like for those that don't, like who you are, what you do, where you do it at, and then we'll get started.
What was the name of the show again?
Never the Right Time.
Okay. Why am I here? What do I do? I'm a local guy from Prishtina. I actually grew up down the road. Mm-hmm. This is Peyton, by the way. It's not my first time in Urban FM. We used to party a lot in Urban FM in Sunny Hill.
So you know it well.
Yeah. I'm a hairdresser. That's what I do for a living. That's about it. What else?
Well, okay. So certainly hairdresser. So Menda. It's Menda, downtown, right?
That's my business, yeah. That's what I do.
And, I mean, like, when I met you as a hairdresser, but coming to know you, especially the last year, you're, let's say, a jack of all trades, meaning you do so many different things outside of your work, right? So I know you already through the gym. You are, like, the reason I've started working at 5-Star, for example, right? That. So, you know, you're a gym goer. You certainly, are into your fitness. I've kind of gotten into hiking through you as well. So outdoor, we can talk about that as well. And then DIY, like it's endless, right? Yep. And then on top of that, you have a family, you're a husband, you're all of that, right? So, and you ask, like, why are we here? Well, I think it'd be really interesting to talk about like how you got into the gym, because as far as my understanding goes, and through our mutual friend Trimi, like, you know, he's told me that you're certainly one of the early adopters of like kind of making fitness a part of your routine, right?
True. Well, I started, as I consider myself as a sportsman. I've started as a kid. Skiing was my thing, and I've skied, and then I have competed in ex-Yugoslavia then. I was always into sport. I played some tennis, and then I've been gymming. I've been lifting weights for the past at least 25 years. Of course, on and off.
Yeah.
But for the past 10 years, I've been gymming 5 days a week.
Pretty seriously, right?
Yeah. It's my routine. It's something that I get my stuff, my bag ready at night. Then first thing in the morning, I go and lift weights with personal trainer,
Sure.
Arsim Kulashi. Hello.
Shout out.
Yeah, he my guy. He my routine. The guy that I see every day. You know, I look forward to seeing him every day. And it's just a thing. I don't even think about it. I just do it.
Yeah, it's become like...
I still ski. I hike a lot. I climb mountains. That's also one thing that I like. By me doing cardio and lifting weights, I'm much better, and my recovery is much better. I just, as you know, we've been to some peaks together.
Yeah.
Especially lately, now we've been walking, like leaving 3-4 o'clock in the morning, doing it nighttime. We just hit it straight without
I do the walking. This guy is also guiding. So without him, I'd be lost.
So...
But let's tell me how you start. So you were obviously into different sports, tennis, skiing from a young age, right? Like motorbiking, all these things.
Yes, cycling. I did a lot of cycling as well. I was a BMX guy.
Okay.
Back in the days when BMX were so popular, everybody was doing BMX tricks and jumps and things.
And when did you start going to the gym? Did that just come naturally when gyms started popping up, or
I lived in UK, London for a while.
Right.
And I was, skinny, masculine guy. I went to the gym to look good because I wanted to look good.
Like basically. A lot of us.
I wanted to pump up. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of the UK pop culture, a little bit what was going on there that kind of influenced you?
In a culture. It was just like me coming from Balkans,
Yeah.
You want to look bigger.
Sure.
That was my thing.
Okay, so it started kind of in the UK.
I think so, yes.
And then when you
Now that you got me thinking, I think so, yeah.
And then when you came back to Prishtina, it just was you decided to continue that.
I came back in 97, back in Kosovo, and the gyms were basically basements and proper iron weights, old school gyms, stinky gyms. Yeah, no showers, no nada.
Just dudes working out.
I had my father got his friend to make some weights for me, and I was working out in my house further down the road with neighbors, with friends. Our bench was made of wood. We just put a towel on top and then lift iron. Yeah. And went to some gyms, like I say, to the stinky ones, but
and then in terms of when, so maybe tell me and tell us when the first commercial gyms started to pop up.
Proper gyms only after year 2000.
Okay.
Few gyms, but the proper one, I think it was Gym. It was called Gym, owned by Visar and Gzim. That was I think you went long time ago. You went
the
there.
Concrete one, right?
The concrete one, yeah, exactly, by that Rilindia building.
Yeah.
That was a gym,
That was a really nice one.
It was a really nice one. High ceilings and nice. Also, the ventilation was good as well. I think that was the first proper one. So that was 16 years ago, I believe.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And at this point then, when I guess you were going regularly to this gym?
Yes, I was. The only time I did not go to the gym was when I broke my leg or arm or, from bike accidents or skiing. And through surgeries, I was only doing physio, a lot of physio. Because also, I have to say, physio is,
it's not easy.
Not easy, yes.
And I'm gonna definitely ask you a few more questions around that.
The way we say we've been gymming, I'm not professional, okay? I just gym for myself. It makes me feel good. I believe, because I gym, I go through flus much easier. I get less flus. I'm much healthier. Kind of, makes you want to go out less because you want to be ready, steady, go for the next day in the gym. Or if you do go out, then you try and drink less, and
Well, it keeps you on a I guess the straight and narrow path in some ways, right? But like, was it sort of what I find really interesting is sort of like as busy and hectic of a life that you live doing different things, and it's not about going out, but like just running your own business to family to all the outdoor adventures and sports and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, was it already at this point where you found, like when you started going to the gym, for example, when these gyms started to pop up, that you were like, oh, this, like, if I don't go, I don't feel the same, kind of? Was it already that kind of like like thinking? Because now if you don't go, like, it's almost like maybe something's not right.
Like I
right?
say, I work out Monday to Friday. Saturday, I either cycle or do cardio. And if I don't go to the gym, I think my body aches, I feel like
something's off.
Yeah, something's off, yeah. I go, I don't even think about not going. I just go. It's my thing.
Yeah. So at this point, I mean, it's not about motivation, right? Because, like there's a lot of talk about motivation, right? People starting off.
I think I have passed that stage with motivation. Gym is just my remedy. It's healing. It's by me going to the gym first thing in the morning. I'm by the time I go to work, I'm fully awake, focused, start my day fresh, and I think by the time I start working, some people are still asleep,
Yeah.
So I'm ready to do, a lot of stuff. And I sometimes am surprised with myself how, as you know me by now, I get to do so many things a day, the energy I have. And then this Albanian thing is I love. I totally disagree with this. I've loved. It's like, are you tired? Why do I look tired? No, I'm never tired, man.
Like there's something to be said about, yes, you work, but you work to create more energy almost, right? Like by going to the gym.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I say, recovery is different. It's much faster, even when we're hiking. Whatever sports, whatever you're doing, recovery is much faster.
And I think through your experience of the different sports, like I think you can certainly compare to those times where you were maybe not gymming consistently versus when you are, like the performance of like that hike or when you're skiing, it probably feels different, right?
Of course, yeah. Skiing requires a lot of energy, power. When you have the technique, a lot less power, but when you have the power as well as technique, it's just another thing. You can hit the mountain straight fast and straight down and not just hit the mountain. I mean,
and also I
tired.
think it'd be worth talking about the type of skiing that you do. This isn't just going up on the lift and going down the slope, right?
I've been skiing since when I was 5, and skiing is my thing. Shar Mountain is my home turf. I have a lot of friends that ski. I love to ski. I ski tour with a few friends of mine, Fis Nemone, Fis Amiga, and others. Yeah, we ski tour. As soon as there's a little bit of snow, we up and dancing. We go hike, ski tour, and then hit the peaks. We've skied almost all peaks in Kosovo. Also, we've skied Korab, the highest peak in Albania. We've skied Mariash. We're the first to ski Mariash. It's not just people have climbed Mariash, but nobody has climbed it wintertime. So
Oh, wow.
We did it. We didn't even know what we're doing. But then we had the mayor of town, the waiting us. They were all looking at us with binoculars. We did not know. So when we came down in the village, in the town, they were like all urime, you know, congrats, congrats, and we didn't know what they congratulating us for. And they said, "You're the first guys to ski," and I'm like, "The mariage." We were like, "Okay, fine." And then they said, you know, nobody actually climbed it.
Is it because is it quite a dangerous one?
It's rocky, it's steep, it's rocky, and snow doesn't stay in the rocks. So we went up. Honestly, we were gonna back up, but it was just, we kind of climbed it diagonal, because that was the only way to climb it, and then we would try to go abort the mission, go back, but it just didn't work, so we had to climb it, you know, because there
was only one way forward.
Yeah, exactly, and then we did it. But it was funny, because when we reached the top, Fizz was first, I was second, and then this other friend of ours, so Fizz reached like 2 minutes before, and I was like behind him. Wow. And he had this camera on, and I'm like on top, and then just looked down on the other side of the mountain, on the rock.
Wow.
And you know, there was like nowhere to put the skis on, so we struggled with all that and everything.
And
then we skied it down. Yeah.
Wow.
I always say it's much. That's why I like ski touring, because you know, you go to a peak, and then you ski down the mountain.
The reward, almost.
Yeah, exactly. So when you hike, then you have to come down the mountains walking, and because I had like 3 different surgeries in my knees, it's kind of bad for my knees to actually walk down, so I much rather ski the mountain.
Yeah, so already, like, in terms of like, you're hiking with skis, right?
Yes, you ski tour.
Yeah, so that's you know, that's
a lot of weight on you.
A bit of weight, right?
Weight, yeah. Like, actually, I have skied and ski toured way before I started hiking. So when I hiked with group of people, they were like, "Oh, walk with these people, because these people walk fast." Then I was just doing it, you know, because of the cardio, because of the weights, because of squats, because of everything. I would just, you know, do it. And then before we had skins for skis to ski tour, we used to climb on ski boots, wearing ski boots and poles and skis in the back. So that was like carrying all that weight for me to walk up the mountain, you know, like on shorts and like sport shoes, patiks.
Yeah.
Le patiks.
It's a word I learned recently.
Easy, yeah.
Patiks means sneakers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you were doing it, like, in terms of hiking already at a much harder level then, right? Like, and you didn't even know.
No, I did not know. Yeah, I was.
And everything,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. So for me, it was just a thing. You know, people used to say, "Oh, you're doing well. You're very strong." For me, it was just walking.
Yeah, and then actually when you're hiking, you're like, "Oh, this is much easier. This is actually more comfortable too, right?" So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So then, in terms of because you've mentioned your injuries, and I've you've told me about a couple of them, right? So if you don't mind, maybe because some of them could be quite traumatic, and I'm sure they were. Like, what kind of injuries, and then what really impresses me as well is like some of the injuries, and hopefully you'll share that with us, is like serious enough that also like to get back to a certain point, not only to gym and then also to be able to ski, like it's serious work, right? That you had to put through yourself, like the serious physio and all that.
I have torn my ACL and full ruptures. I have 3 surgeries on my knees, like 3 times ACL. Wow. And that's all from skiing, but I don't think it happened in one go. It happened slowly. Mm-hmm. So jumps, 360s, landing badly, and then torn, and then eventually it happened. But I've also had accidents I was twice hit by a truck, and I was hit by cars on my motorbike. I've broken my legs many times, my hands, my clavicles. I used to also race dirt bikes. I've done my clavicles both on both clavicles, left and right, on dirt bike. and I have broken my talus bone, which was very bad. It was all screwed back on.
What have you not broken? That is the question.
I was once in a very bad state. My lower back, L2, L3, L4. I had cracks on my spine, and I was wearing a brace for 6 months. I must say, I all these surgeries were done right, but all these surgeries are nothing without physiotherapy. Physiotherapy is a must. And when I first torn my ACL, at that time it was 2004. Even for footballers at that time, it was kind of end of career.
Yeah.
And when I done, I did some research, and I had it done first. Then nobody did it in Kosovo. I had it done in Slovenia, and I was lucky to have physios from athletic team. And I was doing physio, like basically it was no surgery. And then I remember my mom had meniscus surgery here, and then she had to wear like a plaster for a month. And atrophy muscle totally after the plaster was taken off. I was done the surgery like the day before, then the next day I was already working out, the new sport physio, and I was lucky to be in Čateške Toplice in Slovenia and do workout with all these sports people. Of course, Slovenia has a lot of skiers, with all other sport people. Yeah, I was lucky, and then doing physio 3 times a day for an hour and a half each session. It's 3 months, and then next 3 months an hour and a half just once a day. But I had really strong. I have recovered very, very fast. I played
because you started so early.
I tell you, like with that, ACL, by working out so much and by doing so much physio, I played football in 4 months.
After the surgery?
After the surgery, yes.
Wow.
I played and I skied. I skied a few years with a brace, and then I think that was mental. I don't think you need brace. You just need to work out. Yeah. And that's it. And then my second surgery I had done here.
And this is all, again, the same knee?
No, this is the other knee. And when it happened skiing. We were skiing. There was so much snow powder. We were off piste, and it happened. And I fell in between pines, and I was in a very bad position. Friends come to rescue me and managed to come down the mountain. I had surgery 3 days later, and then after that I met this great sport physio, Ervin Mechikukishi.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. I liked him because he's he was like, I felt like being in Slovenia with the same guy. Sport physio, work, push. Yeah. None of that, massage, physiotherapy, sport recoveries. Massage is nothing. You have to work out. You have to get the muscles back in function. And
yeah, the massage is part of it, but ultimately it's strength training.
Am I talking too much?
No, okay. No.
Kidding.
This is good.
Kidding.
But you make a good point, especially like when it comes to physio. And I had Mustafa on another conversation, but the massage is just one aspect of it, and it's almost like a Band-Aid, right? It feels good, right? But then ultimately, like it's strength training, right? To build up whatever was strength, injured, right?
You have to, when you do surgery, you lose all your muscle. In 2-3 days, once you have surgery, then it's like in the next 3 days, it's going to be half of the size. Atrophy is called. It's going to be like half of the size of your next or the other leg. So you have to.
You have to wait till like the inflammation comes down a little bit and then go for it, right? Or?
Actually, no. Next day you're lifting, you're strengthening, because once you do surgeries, normally you have no feelings how to actually how do you say, how
you have to retrain yourself how to use that joint,
muscle. Basically, you kind of forget how to
bend your knee and all these kind of things.
Bend your knee, you cannot. Bending comes later.
Yeah,
but you have to learn from beginning. Basically, it's like how to strengthen, how to tighten the muscle, how to start, working. It's just like starting from beginning.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I had the same knee again, but I happened to same time I felt my talus, so my ankle was in a lot of pain from my other surgery, and I felt because of the screws that I have inside and all these titanium bolts, vidas they called. I thought my pain is coming from that.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to remove them. So the doctor said, okay, because we're doing the knee, we'll remove all the screws from your ankle as well. That was very bad, because then I lost my knee and I lost my ankle, and it just had no balance. No, it was a very bad decision. Should have done one first and then
let it recover.
Yeah.
And then
but a lot of discipline, like
again, like just making sure, because like, once a serious enough injury like that occurs, right, the likelihood that actually it occurs again is pretty high. I think people don't realize that, right? But one thing also that from my experience, I've noticed that like sometimes people don't follow the physio program too, right? Like they do it for a little bit, and then, whether they lose interest or that it's a little bit too hard, or, whatever the reason might be, sometimes they don't stick to it, right? And you clearly, like, from, your first surgery, you're like, no, this is a must, right? You like
physiotherapy is your best friend, like I said, surgery without physiotherapy, nada. So it's a must.
And so
like even entering a best footballer, a really fit footballer would break the ACL, but if they enter surgery with muscle, the recovery is going to be much faster. So same, even if any kind of surgery,
the fitter, the stronger
you are. Exactly.
Yeah.
Every time I went to have surgery, I never met those doctors before and say, oh, you're like fit, it's gonna be easier for you, so.
So in terms of, you bring up like discipline, and we've kind of touched upon it, right?
Like when I say fit, sometimes I used to play football with some chubby dudes, and yeah, they were fat and chubby, but they used to they were fit. They would run a lot more than some skinny guys. So looking fit and being fit is two different things.
Sure.
I believe, like you see strongest men in the world, they're not lean.
No,
they're a little fat, and big.
Yeah,
they're strong. So
yeah, like it you bring up a great point. Like in terms of what does strong mean, right? The context matters, right? Like, fit from an athlete in CrossFit versus fit in another sport is going to be different, for example, right?
True.
So yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I've done some CrossFit as well, and
yes, the guy has done it all.
Yeah, we used to go with Dren. We used to go first thing in the morning. We used to go do CrossFit, and then just change on dry clothes, and then go lift weights again. Right after that, it's two different things. They're both great, but lifting weights, you lift no momentum, but CrossFit is more momentum. But I think doing two is just like really, really good. Do a few days CrossFit.
Yeah, there's a time and place for a lot of things, right?
Yeah. I think as long as you move your body, as long as you do any kind of sports, even just going out and walking, put your body in motion, it's
it goes a long way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You feel better.
And I think you certainly, I think we're both at a stage where not doing, just doing nothing is not an option,
Exactly.
Like you need to kind of also use that energy, put things into motion, as you said, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the discipline, right? So obviously where do you think this discipline comes from? Because what I find interesting is so being a trainer, right? like discipline is something, it's hard to teach, right? Or maybe it is. I don't know for you, but it's a topic of conversation, right? Because people always say like, I'll do it when I feel like it. I need motivation, whatever, right?
As I'm saying, you need to do physio. I was telling a lot of people, because a lot of people come to me and say, "Oh, give me advice. I'm gonna have surgery. I'm gonna do this, that, whatever. What do I do?" I tell them they don't do it. Some people you have to push, and they don't do it. Some people you don't have to. They do. I don't think we are all built the same.
No.
That's why you have sportsmen and you don't. But and some people just are not up to it. They would rather eat flea and sit and do nothing. Some people like sports, some people don't. But people that do sports, I think, of course, they're healthier, they are stronger. People that do sports, I believe they are better at work as well. You say where I got my motivation? I don't know.
No, more so even, well, motivation, sure, but like where do you get your discipline, right?
Discipline comes, I think a lot of discipline and education, everything comes from first stage from your parents, really.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of sports in my house, in my family. So I believe that. I mean, my family, we all ski. My mom skied, my father skied.
Okay.
And we were it was a must, they just bought us skis and we started to do that.
Yeah.
I think it helps a lot if you have sports people in background. I
Sure.
mean, my mom and dad, they're retired and they're old. They're almost 70, my mom, and my father 72.
Okay.
And they hike, and they hiked with a group of hikers, but because my father does 10-15 kilometers every day. My mom used to run marathons. Until recently, she was gymming. She had knee surgery, and then eventually she doesn't gym, but she still walks and does some aerobics at home. And they hiked mountains with a group of people, and they just hike it dead easy, much better than much younger people. And their recovery is
quicker too.
Quicker, of course. They don't need no rest. Not like we're done. Just move,
Yeah. So
it
you
just
think
builds up. What I want to say is, as we getting older, I myself, I can lift more every day because I lift every day. You think you're getting older and you lose power. No, you just gain more strength and power.
Well, it depends on
Practice
you do it, but
makes perfect, yeah.
But yeah, I do believe that when people say like, "Oh, I'm getting old, I can't do this," it's no. Age is, yes, there is a component to it, or a factor to it, but it's more you stop moving. That's why you can't move, or that's why you can't do it, right? Versus it's not just because you're older, So you think that discipline then it was like within the family, like because from an early age, because your parents were active, that naturally you were active, and it just was natural, like kind of, because I'm sure, or maybe, I'm curious to know, like, there are days that certainly, like today, or even in the past for sure, like, when you don't want to, right? You're tired,
When you
and so like what still gets
some
you,
days where you don't want to do it, but that's only like first thing when you just get up and do it, leave home, and then going, like I go to the gym, I like to sit down, have my coffee first.
Sure.
And then I like to work out. Sometimes we have bad days, but as soon as you start lifting or working out, as soon as you warm up, it just clicks, and you just enjoy doing it.
Because a lot of people struggle with that, right? Like,
True that. By working out, you appreciate the food that you eat more. You feel sorry for your body to throw junk in your mouth. And this whole one thing leads to another, the discipline and the food and trying to be healthy and all these things. And also, you know, you want to look good for the summer as well. It's very importante.
Of course, yeah. We all want, you know, there's no. It's okay to be a bit vain and like we all want to look good, sure.
Yeah.
But you know, that's something that it comes up time after time, right? There's so many of us, and we know also people that like, you know, struggle with that, right? Like being consistent, having that discipline, or being able to kind of negotiate with ourselves, right? You know, to make sure that like we go, right? We still make it to it, right? And sure, there's going to be some days that, okay, it's not going to go well, but like something is always better than nothing, right? So, you know, that's interesting in terms of how you, like for you, it's basically, okay, you might feel a little bit dead, but like once you get going.
I believe we all have bad days when we're pissed off with something, or something has happened the night before, the day before, things are not going right and all that. But
for me,
you've seen me. I go to the gym, I put my headphones on, my music, and I just do my thing. You know, it's my time. I totally switch off and I concentrate there and enjoy the gym. Same like you, wearing headphones and earbuds or whatever.
Yeah, like for
you get into your thing and do that. Also, very important warm up for the gym. You know, warm up for the sports.
Yes, definitely.
It's like, you know, I've seen you proper warm up, and I've seen you work out differently from us.
Yes,
yeah, you have
like,
your
what
ways
is he
of
doing?
No. Your workout is very, very good, and you have to be very strong to get there. You know, you have a lot of balance and a lot of strength training, and the way you lift is different from what I do in a way.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million ways to approach it, right?
Exactly.
You know, and you have to kind of find find something that works for you. Try to do it consistently. Like the way I approach it is also kind of, so, you know, I have some similar, like, yeah, sure, there's going to be days where I just don't feel good, or like I'm just feeling sorry for myself
because
or whatever,
because of what you say is, for example, it's very good if you want to go to the gym and start working out, maybe get a personal trainer, because then you know somebody is there waiting for you each day, and somebody will push you. For me, I know my workout, I know how to lift, but by going there and seeing Arsim Kuloshi, my personal trainer, every day, it's just like, okay, what we doing today, and just get on with it. It's nice and easy because I just have to lift and do the workout, and somebody just tells you what to do. So that can be motivation. That can be somebody to push you.
Someone holds you accountable.
Or maybe sometimes I like to work out most of the times on my own, but I also like to have a partner. Like I've worked out with you, I worked out with Trime, and we push each other. Also, that is, you know. And then again, it's a little bit of socializing. When you go to the gym with all these other gym members and with personal trainers and everything, it's like a family. It's like that time when you see everybody, say hello to everybody, you know. You have some miserable people coming in the morning and talk to nobody, and you say to them good morning, and then they say good morning back. So you're actually educating people as well to say good morning. Good morning, people.
Well, like it's a place where, you know, we hold dearly, and like we want to create like kind of like it's a place where everyone should feel welcomed, right? And so like by then also kind of, because we're all working against ourselves in some ways, right? And so if we can kind of,
I'm not, you are.
But in terms of like but you're, you know, what I like about what you just said, especially, is like a little bit of encouragement goes a long way, whether it's in a form of just saying good morning kind of thing.
Hey,
right?
people sometimes they come to the gym, they never been to the gym, and they just do the whole thing wrong. They can hurt themselves, you know. So
yeah, that too.
That's why I don't mind sometimes telling people, hey, you know, do it like this. I don't tell them you're doing it wrong, because then they, you know, this Albanian culture is like, I can do it better, you know. But maybe it's Balkan, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you tell them, do it like this and do it like this. And I think they need help. So by having a PT also, personal trainer, also will save you from injuries.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I think like certainly the accountability, like, so, you know, whether it is like working out with a friend or like, you know that, you know, there's going to be guys like Naeem or Lorik also there, like, you know, that you kind of hold each other accountable, right? He's going to be there, so I better show up too, kind of thing,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
But like going back to sort of like for someone that, you know, maybe already is struggling to go to the gym to then even find a personal trainer, like where I like for me, and I think you mentioned something similar, is like, you know, especially on those days that you're not feeling it, right? Like you kind of like, it's a bit of a struggle already, uphill battle, but like I think maybe consciously or even maybe subconsciously, right? Like you kind of break it down into smaller steps, right? So it's like, all right, I'm going to get out of bed. Then I'm going to grab my bag. I'm going to go to the gym. You know, it's like one step at a time. And then once you're already at the step, then that first domino has already kind of tumbled, right? And then
I think you start not that morning. I normally start the night before. The moment I enter my home, I empty my gym clothes and I get my gym bag ready, like what I'm gonna wear, because I shower in the gym, and I get my bag ready. So I have my clothes I'm gonna be wearing to work. I have stuff I need, and then the next morning I just leave the house, just grab the bag. You know, I do drink my I love to have first thing in the morning 1 banana. I have 2 dates.
Yeah.
And I take my 1,000 milligram of vitamin C, and I take this. I take like a men vitamin one a day that has everything, like a multivitamin. And I leave home. So that's the routine. So by having my bag ready, I don't even think the next day, because I just get up and everything is there. I leave home.
But like in terms of just going back, so no, I really like that.
The way I've been listening to myself. I'm not professional. It's just something that I find. Gym, lifting weights, cardio, sports is my remedy. It's make me focus and everything. So I'm just trying to explain how I am. I'm not. Who am I to judge or say professional or not? You know,
but it's. I think that's, you know, to some extent pretty inspiring, because also, like I said at the beginning of the show, like you wear many hats throughout the day, right? True. You know, you own a business. You also are like cutting hair and, you know, styling, managing, right? You know, you're also
parenting.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, like, you know, a lot of people, by the time, like even before getting to the gym and even before, like, you know, trying to find a personal trainer, it's already like, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, you know, or like you've heard every excuse in the book, right? You know it, right? And you've probably like
consistency.
So, but like breaking it down into like almost, so you already have a little bit of routine. It starts from the night before, for example. Like it's little steps that you've been doing over and over again to get to a point where like now you don't even think about it, right? So like what would you, if you had to, and I know you're not professional, but that's fine. Like if you had to, like for someone that is trying to start, like what would you kind of like, how would you approach it almost?
Start working out?
Yeah, or like, it's like, because, you know, it's kind of also the show is called Never the Right Time, right?
Man, shut your mouth and go to the gym. Shut your mouth, boy, and go to the gym. Yeah, that's what I tell them. I think, people say, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna do.
You just have to, right? Like
you just get up, man. I tell them, get your bag ready and then go. You don't have to go. People, they say, I'm gonna go to the gym, and they go to a sports shop and they just buy everything brand new and then go 2 times to the gym twice. I mean, and then, you know, that's it.
Or like January comes and you'd go
and they think, they summer is here and they go to the gym, start going to the gym summer to look for good for the summer. It ain't gonna work. You know, it ain't gonna work. I think you don't have to hit diets just before. You just eat healthy, eat the right time. If you work out, you can eat cebapas, you can eat pizza, you can eat pasta, you can eat anything, of course. You have your days when you can, but by working out, you eat better. You
There's a shift in the mindset,
appreciate
right?
your body better. It's like people go and put good gas in their cars, and they put shit food in their mouth, and overfeed themselves and everything. Just eat. Very important to eat by time, not when you're hungry, because you end up eating. I mean, I've seen you work out once. I've seen you work out twice. Sometimes I've seen you work out 3 times a day. And I've seen you, I know how much you can eat. I eat a lot, but I've seen you eat so much food, and you're lean, I was very surprised when we weighed, and you on a scale, and you're 80. You're like, that's lean
thick.
Muscle, 80.
We're thick these days.
Yeah, exactly, man. All that muscle, and, because you don't look big, but you are, very strong. Yeah.
I try to hold my own. Would you say then, because we're going to slowly start to wrap things up, but a lot of
I
the
think
things...
I don't want to talk anymore.
But would you say a lot of the things especially with social media these days, right? Everything is about
there's so much education on social media.
Well, that too.
Also, there's so much wrong stuff.
Yes. And I think there's a lot of stuff that is flashy, and you mentioned also kind of all right, I'm going to go to the, and we all want to look good. So I get it. Buy the new shoes, new patiks, new whatever, right? But
patiks,
actually,
trainers.
but actually what we've been kind of chatting is it's actually the boring stuff, the simple stuff that you do over and over again, that is kind of what works, right?
My teacher used to say, it doesn't matter if you have old and torn clothes, it's important to be clean. So I would say this is out of, I would say even to the people that come to the gym, motherfuckers, shower and clean clothes. You don't smell of goulash when you want fresh air in the gym. So you need to go to the gym. Doesn't matter what you wear.
Just show up. And then, you'll figure it out. Someone like yourself or myself, there are people at the gym that are going to be open and can be receptive to, hey, I would suggest you do this, right?
If you like to eat and drink and go out and drink alcohol, it's much better if you work out. You can eat and drink more. What a good advice. Great advice.
All right. So as we kind of wrap things up, as I said, I just want one last question from my end to you, training goals in terms of we have just over close to 2 months left of this year when this is being recorded, right? And so going into also 2024, is your training kind of basically preparing yourself for this upcoming ski season?
Now, yes, my training changes. I do a lot more cardio, balance. It changes. Instead of me lifting, doing 16 reps, for example, I would do 20, 25 reps, lifting less weight.
So more for endurance purposes.
Endurance is that's how I but also maybe once a month powerlifting and pushing and pulling. So I want to say this earlier. Imagine me going or you going 5 times a week to the gym. How when you meditate, how you inhale and exhale, how breathing in and out is very important. Imagine every time you push or you lift, you exhale, right? So we are doing this all the time, every day. That is also very good for lungs and everything.
So and then I guess also bearing in mind when you are ski touring, right? I mean
it's you just do it at ease. It's like anything. You can work out, but when you do some sports, it's all different muscles. But doing sports and moving your body and always being on motion, it's much easier to do any kind of sport. I've recently started to do kite surfing, and I was doing the whole day. I was practicing in the beach and then in the water, and I was drinking some seawater and all that, but I was just still doing it all the time. And the instructor, the teacher was telling me, man, we need to do a break. And I'm like, no, I still
you
I
wanted to
can do
keep
it.
going.
Yeah, I wanted to do like in 3 days in one day,
Yeah. All right. Excellent. So training right now, just slowly starting to focus on the upcoming ski tour / ski season. So hopefully there's going to be some good weather.
I believe we're gonna have a great winter. Last year it start late, finish late. This year I believe we're gonna start early.
Amazing.
And finish late again.
All right.
And all this I have told you, please don't tell anybody.
All right. On that note, Dren, I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy, so really thank you for joining me on this episode for Never the Right Time. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
Enjoyed it.
This was
Great studio, Urban FM.
This is
Mefenavru.
Yeah, so Urban FM 103.5 or 105.5 FM. Thanks, guys, and see you soon.